everyone, this is Barbara Velez, and if you're tuning for the first time, my passion is to give you tools for success in leadership and in ministry. I will want to talk to you about excuses today. We dream all the time. We are all the time growing in our vision, growing in what the Lord has said to us, but sometimes we undream the dreams of God. We undream the things that we're dreaming or believing for. And let me explain that. We kind of like have a vision and we have a dream of doing something in ministry or for our church or for our community or for our business, and we have high hopes and high expectancy, and we have a vision, but at the same time the things that come out of our mouths and the things that we say to ourselves, or the narrative we carry in unbelief in what we're saying. So at the same time that we're hoping and we're dreaming and we're believing for something, our the ways we speak or the ways we do things or the things that we tell ourselves carry a different message. So I want to talk about those narratives of unbelief and self-doubt, or maybe fear, that we tell ourselves, or we are constantly thinking about, that bring insecurity to ourselves and make our dreams go like poof, poof. And we need to invest on narrative that will bring life, that will bring success, that will allow us to get position into the place that we need to be positioned, so we can accomplish what we are envisioned that we should be doing. If it's a dream from the Lord, if it's you have a word from the Lord that you should be doing something, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest not only in the things that you do to get training, not only on your daily reading of the Bible, not only on the things that you do to move your business or your ministry or your family forward, but also in how careful are you walking the path of your mind, the paths of your thoughts, what you're telling to yourself, watching out for those narratives or for the things that come out of your mouth when you are speaking to others, or when you are speaking to yourself. Yes, when you are speaking to yourself, specifically when you are telling yourself those things that nobody else knows, but they're they are founded in fear, they're founded on unbelief, they're founded in what if. And sometimes we as leaders have those thoughts and we feel like failures. Yes, newsflash, it happens, but we need to turn those things around and be aware of the fact that we need to invest time in changing those narratives and those things that we tell ourselves. And we must spend time in asking the Lord what are the things that He wants us to change in the way we speak about our beliefs, in the way we speak to ourselves, and in the way we project and speak to others. Because sometimes we can say something like, wow, I have this dream, I believe, and then 10 minutes later you're saying, oh, I'm so discouraged, I think this is not gonna work, I think I'm gonna do this because this is not gonna work. So when you are in that situation, that's called double-mindedness, and because you are flip-flopping between the two of them, you strive and you struggle moving forward into the vision and into the right positioning for yourself so you can do the things. So you don't want to be in a struggle. You want to be functioning as the victorious person that God has created you to be. So there are three top excuses that we normally use, and they come right out of our mouth when we are speaking to people, and that if we continue investing on those excuses, and by investing I mean like continue using those excuses, or continue tagging those statements in our vocabulary and our vernacular, we are going to have trouble moving forward, because instead of investing in something that will produce or yield fruit or give us a return on investment in positioning ourselves for our future and positioning ourselves for the vision, we're investing in something that are hindering us, and it's pulling us down, and it's not allowing us to grow, because it will limit ourselves. So first excuse, I have no money. How many times we have come to the realization that we have no resources or no money to carry out the vision that the Lord has put in our hearts, or carry out the idea that we have for a business, or for our organization, or for maybe our church, or maybe for our school, or for some project that you have, and you see it so big, but your idea is so good, and your idea is like, I feel that the Lord wants me to do this, but you have no clue, and the first thing that you say, oh, I have no money. I guess that I'm just waiting in the Lord for this to happen. And when you are so excited about things, but the first thing that blurts out of your mouth, and I have done this, and I'm working on this one and on the other two as well, but we have to shake it off. It's like a battle. Sister Joyce Meyer Talk has a great book. It's the Battle of the Mind, and it's like fantastic. And if you haven't read it, please take time, but because explain these things. But we tend to use I have no money a lot. We have it comes at every time, in every form, every time something that is factual that might be happening to us at that point comes up and triggers that excuse. For example, you have an extra expense, and you are struggling a little bit to make end meets, and you maybe has a breakage in the house, and you have to invest some money in the breakage, and now you're struggling to make up for that difference. And then the very first thing that you say, oh, I have no money. And when we come up with that excuse, what we're saying is we don't trust the Lord to provide all our needs according to His riches in glory. We're saying I don't trust God for this. Even that we are thinking that we are believing in that He will provide, we're believing something with our heart, but we're saying something with our mouth. And the Bible says that we, out of the abundance of the heart, our mouth will speak. So when we say I have no money, we're literally saying what we're believing in our heart, that I believe more the circumstance than the fact that I can work out this problem and God can provide or can give me a supply. Also, we need to understand that sometimes we lack because our mindset is focused on what we see or on what we have in our hands. And we need to think beyond that. We need to think beyond what we're seeing. We need to think beyond the money that we have or the income that we have, because if we have an idea, if we have a craft, if we can gain skills that could translate into a better paying job, we have to put time and effort and sometimes pay the price to generate income, or to gain the necessary skills to earn more money. And sometimes it will translate into getting a second job, and sometimes it will translate into hustling for a little time and do extra work, so you can start a side business. It's part of creating other routes of revenue, and that's part of what you need to do. You cannot sit and lay back and say, oh well, look, the Lord will provide, and you sit and do nothing. You need to do something, and you have to believe that the Lord will provide as you move forward and you knock on doors and you walk forward, and as you receive the strategies from Him as to how to move forward. But if you are a creative person, if you can separate time to on the side to volunteer, to gain skills, and that will translate into a better paying job, or if you can save, put aside some money and invest it because you'll generate some income at the end, you have to be creative on finding solutions to the I have no money circumstances. And you also sometimes have to cut expenses, because right now we have a society that we want everything. We have no money, but we do have money to go to the movies, or we have no money, but we have the money to go and eat out every single day. You know, you have to balance. You have to make decisions that are intelligent for you, for your family, for your ministry. Because we sometimes, oh, by faith the Lord will provide, and then we make decisions that will put us in situations that are not appropriate, just because we didn't have the sense of budgeting for an event or a conference, or for something that you wanted to do. You went all out and you didn't step out small in something, and you went all out, and then now you are in trouble financially because you spent instead of budgeting and do the things that you needed to do wisely. Excuse number 2. I have no money. I have no time. Number 1 was I have no money. Number 2 is I have no time. That is a super lousy excuse, because the last time I checked, you have the same 24 hours that I have, and I have the same 24 hours that you have, and this the people that are right now are influencing, or are pastors, or are leaders that are well known, they also have 24 hours. There's no one that have 36 hours a day. There's no one that have less than 24 hours, the same 24 hours. But the reality is that we have a choice on how we spend those 24 hours. We have a choice in how we invest the time, and how we sacrifice time, and we take out time from things that we want to do that are not necessarily the things that we should be doing. If we don't sacrifice a little, we won't be able to make the time to position ourselves for the things that we must do. Sometimes there are things that we have to say no, so we can say yes to the things that will position ourselves for the future. So sometimes there are times that I have to say no to watch a movie or to binge on a show that I might want to be seeing right now because I'm doing something else that will position me for the future. Sometimes I might have to say no to be with a friend because I'm doing something and I'm being obedient to something that the Lord said. And a true friend will understand that you had to say no because of a reason. Don't misunderstand me, friends. Our family are important, but sometimes there are things that you need to say, I'm sorry, I cannot be at that event at this moment because I need to do something else, or I need to be at somewhere else. And people will understand that because you are making sure that your yes, I will be there, or yes, I will do that, it's aligned with what God, yes, for your life is. Okay, not the other way around. Right now we have to cut on self-gratification so we can gain the tools for success, maybe knowledge, connections. Sometimes you might want to run errands at some point because it's part of your daily routine, but you are supposed to be somewhere else, so you have to sacrifice your ability to do the errands to be somewhere else because that might have had a divine appointment, a divine connection, and a divine network. Again, time is a choice. You have to be organized. You have to choose how you're going to invest your time so you can have a good return on investment on the time you invest. You can get it back for your future, because the most precious commodity you have is time. What you spent today, you will never ever get it back. So the only way that you get back time is investing that time in something that will pay off. And as I say this, never sacrifice your family. Your family is first. There are things that you have to say no, but it might be, staying late a little bit more at night so you can put your kids to bed and then work on something else. Or maybe it's like someone invited you to do something, but you know that you can't because that will not give you time to do what you needed to do or what you need to accomplish for something that you are working, that the Lord told you specifically that you needed to do for your family, for your business, for your church, for your ministry. So you have to decide. It is a choice. You cannot please everyone. The only person that you need to worry to please and to make it and say it a yes all the time, it's the Lord. And number 3, and this is very prominent, specifically for leaders and for people in ministry. I have no help. We get so frustrated because when we're beginning in ministry, and sometimes even if you have been a long time minister, you feel like you have no help at all. Like no one is helping you, that you haven't, the people come and go, and you feel like you have to do everything yourself. But if you keep saying that, people that will come into your life to sow into your life will see that attitude and will see that you're not valuing what they're putting forward to help you, and they're gonna leave. So you need to change that declaration, and you need to change the way you speak and the way you refer to your circumstances, because you might be hindering the very same help that the Lord sent you, just because, oh, nobody helped me, I have to do everything by myself, I have to do, and then people might be surrounding you, willing to help or assisting you, and then by the same way that you're speaking to them, you are telling them, I don't value your help because I have to do everything myself. So it means that I don't value what you're doing for me. And you have to change your vernacular and not only tell them sincerely that you value the help that they're giving to you, but watch out for those declarations when you're frustrated and you are like, oh, I'm doing everything myself. Don't do it. Try to tone it down. The only thing I want you to understand is that when you're starting in ministry, you have to decide that you are going to do that. There are certain things that you have to do yourself. And sometimes we say, oh, I have no help, because we are expecting that big break and that big person that will come along and put us under their wings and will propel us forward and say, hey, there you go. And that is not true. We have to understand that we don't deserve the opportunities. We are given opportunities by grace. The no one helped me excuse, or no one is giving me an opportunity excuse, is something that we have created because we don't want to position ourselves and create opportunities ourselves. The reality is that we need to trust the Lord. We need to be obedient. We need to create the opportunities ourselves. We need to work on positioning ourselves. And as we walk along the path, people will come alongside us and will open doors for you. There are people that will come for seasons and will be assets in your life, will be people that will be a blessing to you. And there are people that will be called to walk with you for a very long season, but there's just people that might come to you and they'll pass through your life for a season, for a specific assignment, and that is okay. Remember to be grateful for those that have helped you along the way, and avoid to tell, to verbalize or make these comments, I have no help, I have to do this all by myself. Get connected with people that are like-minded. In connections and people that are like-minded are opportunities for partnerships or for mentoring or for help. And be vulnerable enough to see your limitations and ask for help along the journey. So I guess that this is all for today. I hope that this has blessed you immensely. And once again, we'll see you next week.